All right, peoples, we are back and we're going to solve these shapes. Got triangle, trapezoids for the variables x, y, and z. So we're starting with this one. So what we got here is x on this trapezoid, the one on the left. And we're saying that if this is similar to this, how can we solve for z and y and x? So remember what similar means. Not like, not as a person or, feelings and all that. We're talking about like a math. When we're saying math, similarity in geometry, that means you can multiply or divide all the side lengths by the same number and get the same corresponding side lengths. So you can multiply 6 by something to get 4. You can multiply 12 by that something to get y, 7 by that something to get z, and x by that something to get 5. Remember that you can think of it as multiplying or dividing. My students sometimes will be like, well, are you dividing or multiplying? Like, it doesn't really matter because multiplying by a fraction is kind of like dividing, but just understand that. So we usually like to go from the smaller one to the bigger one in terms of multiplying, just because it's easier to work with the math typically. So let's actually change this. Well, let's not change arrow. So this 4 is going to go with that 6. And you're like, well, what do you have to multiply 4 by to get 6? And that's going to be times 1.5. Make that x a little differently. And then make it a dot. I know I'll make it like an x times 1.5 to get to that. That means the scale factor to get from this trapezoid to this one is multiplying by 1.5. So then if we're going to go from this shape to that shape, that's the same as dividing by 1 point, or not the same, but it's the reciprocal of dividing by 1.5. Or, multiplying by 2/3. So we want to look at it in that way. So then to get let's start with y, or start with x. To get x, we're going to multiply the 5 by 1.5. So 5 times 1.5 equals x. And that means x equals 7.5. All right, now let's do that same thing with none of the other ones because it's better to divide, I guess, because they're going from here to y now. So you want to figure out, we divide 12 by 1.5, or think of it as multiplying by 2/3, because again, if you go 12, let's go over here. 12 over 1, let's say, divided by 1.5, or 3/2. You are confident in your fractions. You know that this is the same as 12 over 1 times 2/3. And that's going to give me my y. So that's going to be 24 over 3. So then y equals 8. All right. And now we just got to do those 7. Let's divide the 7 by 3/2, or multiply it by 2/3. So we're going to we'll get 7 divided by 3/2. That's going to equal z. And then that's the same as saying that z is 7 over 1 times 2/3, so that's 14/3. Simple, there we go. So moving on to this one, or moving on to the next problem. We have two triangles here where we have to solve for just x in each one. And the way we're going to do this is by recognizing that we have similar triangles within each one. So I'm gonna erase this looking at the video so you don't have to worry about not in the info. If it erases, come on. All right, so find x or solve for x, not just find it, because x is right there. So then we have two triangles here. We got the big guy, or the bigger guy. I don't know if it's a guy, but big triangle. And that this is the one with the 8. This whole thing is 11. We got the small guy. This is where it's the x, and this the base of 5. Yeah, this is the. Now, they both are shown to have right angles, so we know they're both right triangles. So then now we can just set up a relationship, and there's many ways to do it. You can do 8 over 11 equals x over 5. 11 over 8 equals 5 over x. Probably just go for the one that has the x in the numerator. So let's have 8 over 11 equals x over 5. Yeah, and just solve this. Multiply both sides by 5. I'll show the work because I like showing work because it's cool. And I like writing in my markers. Multiply both sides by 5 over 1. What the heck? What is going on here? Never mind. What is... Am I having... Being a little rusty on my marker whiteboard game. Work on this. Right, there we go. So we got 40 over 11. All right, 40 over 11. That's our answer. Just leave it like that. No need to try to make some crazy ass decimal from your calculator. Just correct. All right, now let's look at B. Same thing. Well, not the same thing, but same. Well, yeah, same concept. The big triangle. I mean, the big triangle with the 10 and the 13 bottom. I'm getting better at that now. 10 on the left. 13 on the bottom. A small guy here. We got the X and the 5. So again, you can go 10 over 13, X over 5, 10 over X, 13 over 5. You can do all these sorts of things, or 13 over 10, 5 over X. But go for the one that, is the most fun and simplest, and well you're most confident in doing it correctly. So 10 over 13 goes X over 5. Same thing, yeah, the same base, I guess it is. Well, the same 5s. All right, well, multiply both sides by 5 over 1. And we get 50 over 13. Did I write that? Yeah. 50 over 13 equals x. Didn't I make a silly mistake or a mistake, period? Yeah, perfect. So there we go for that. Let me write down the next problem that I don't have here yet. I'm gonna try to cram it over here. Number 5, or number, it's kind of like number 5. This is 741. Number 7. Solve. Ooh, this is a going to require some rulers. The rulers, I'm going to use this boomerang holder because it's better than a ruler. So let me go make that like that. Make another side like this. Go like this. Oh, I'm not. Come on. Go like this. The bow tie. I'm back. This is actually tilted the wrong. Well, it's not tilted in the way that the paper shows, but just think of it as a different perspective. You know, maybe you can tilt your head, and but it doesn't actually matter. So we got the two congruent angles shown here. These are your vertical angles, so that should be, you should already know that. We're given that this angle is congruent to that angle with the one tick mark. And then we're given that this side is 24, this side is 20, this side is x plus 2, and this side is x. So what do we do? There's some right in here. All right, so again, we want to use a scale factor, because from here we can infer, we can conclude that these are going to be similar triangles because we're given that these angles are congruent and that these angles are congruent. That means you have parallel sides. That just allows us now to know for sure that these triangles are congruent. So again, just find a corresponding ratio. So like this side, see how this angle's down here is going to correspond with this side over here. Well, I mean, I guess that makes, what the heck? I don't know if that even helps, but I'm just going to show you the relationship I'm going to set up, but there's many you can do. See x plus 2, right? Yeah. So what I'm going to do is just do 20 over x equals the 24 over x plus 2. I don't really know why I made it red, or that wasn't really helpful. Or I can also just do I can do it the other way around. I can do x plus 2 over 24 equals x over 20. I did it this way just to make the problem a little more fun for my math students because I like them to practice their fractions, and this is something that you need to be very good at. So what do you do? All you do is cross multiply or multiply by fractions, meaning that you multiply this side by x over 1 because you have the x over 1, x over here. And this side you're going to multiply by x plus 2. It's hard to fit. I'll try to fit it in there. Cross multiply x plus 2. You know what? I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing here because I don't like the way that looks. Pardon me. So x equals 24 over x plus 2. Multiplying this by x plus 2. Let me erase this guy out. It's gone. Bye. X plus 2 over 1. And this one by x over 1. Now, technically, because you're wondering like why I want to multiply by both, I am multiplying this side by x over 1 in that sense, and this side by x plus 2 over 1. But I don't need to write it because I know for sure it's going to cancel out with this. I know that x is going to cancel out with that. I know that x plus 2 is going to cancel out with that. That's why they may just call it like cross multiplying because that's always going to work out. So now I just solve. Let's make sure we distribute the 20 to both of these. So we're going to get 20x plus 40 equals 24x. Then you get take away 20x, you get 40 equals 4x. And then you end up with x equals 10. X equals 10. Nice. I'm gonna work on my pen, my marker again. All right. Well, there we go. So, hope that helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Leave me a comment, and I'll try to get back to you. See you guys in the next problem.